So Aiden Markram's pathetic run as South African T20 captain continues. For the first time, yet again, we have done something incredible by drawing to Ireland in a T20. We leveled the series 1-1 and it ended at that. The ODIs are to come up, and we'll start today by discussing just what went wrong in the T20s and then give you a lovely little preview as to if we're going to make a record again and make some new history by losing an ODI series to Ireland coming up. Now, Kov, what did you make of the back end of that series, the second game? Absolute fast, don't you think?
Yeah, I think these guys are just so determined to get in the history books, they don't care how they get there. It's it's absolutely ridiculous. We wanted some convincing wins and we got something so far away from that, it's unbelievable. In both those games, Ireland were actually the ones that underperformed and they look good. When I say underperform, I mean like they tailed off towards the back end of both of the innings. They were like 40 out for 5 in both games, and they still posted two scores that were highly commendable. Imagine what that could have been. In the previous video, I said, I mean, surely we haven't fallen that far down the barrel, but looks like we have. Like, how else do you look at this?
It's gotten to the point where, before we came on here, we said, let's not be two grumpy old men again. It's gotten to the point where you just laugh at it because this is a joke. It's comedy. It's pure comedy. We keep getting, I don't know, performing at a level that I don't think any South African cricket fan would have expected. And to be fair, I don't think any international cricket fans would be expecting us to perform
Hmm.
at this level. Ireland posted two scores that were in excess of anything around average or par at Abu Dhabi. On both occasions, we need to chase extremely well to catch the score. In the second match, and the one that we'll be talking most about here, we started off that chase absolutely brilliantly. Regardless of who you're facing, that's almost the perfect start to a chase. There were an opening stand there, Rickleton getting a quick 30, Riza getting a 50, and then another 50 coming in just behind that, and you think, okay, cool, Matthew Breitska short things up here, and now we go hard and win the game. And then the most magic of crumbles. There's no other word.
Irish like.
Yeah.
But here's my problem.
I,
Here's my problem. Yes, they crumbled. But just say we pulled the chase off.
mm,
Then the record shows we won the series 2-0. That would have never been a true reflection of the series.
I
And that's the
agree.
catch 22. Because now that the series is drawn, now we'll harp on what could have been. But had they had won that game, it just papers over the cracks of the bowling performance, which is just, it's not up to scratch. I mean, yes, we can be happy that Rickleton found some form, Riza did well. We're happy that Pietska scored some runs. So on that front, okay, it's good on the batting front, but on the bowling front, my goodness.
The problem for me is the inconsistency. Like Lungi bowled well in that second game. I think he probably put his hand up
Hold on.
decently, right? He went for 5 point something per over. Cool, that's good enough. That's what you need. Senior bowler leading from the front, whatever. But then you'll get a day where Vian Mulder plays extremely well, and then another day where he does exactly what he did in that second T20, get absolutely carted. Ngaba went for runs, but that's understandable. The kid's barely played any cricket.
Yeah, but
Cool.
see, that's the
He's
problem there now.
entitled to a
We
day
say, yeah, we say he's entitled, but he doesn't have the players around him to
to
shield
cover
him
up
from
for
a
it.
bad performance.
Yes, I
Because
completely agree.
he looked ordinary in both games. And
Mm,
yes, it's because he's
yeah.
young, he's still raw, he's gonna learn his trade, but it's so apparent now because everybody around him is also bad.
No,
So
100%.
I don't know. I mean, we know it's not our first choice lineup, but going back what you said in 2 or 3 videos ago, it's our second string is so far away from our first string that it's absolutely it's mind-boggling.
It's farcical. Now, the SA20 draft draw auction, whatever you want to call it, happened today. There's a few youngsters in the mix that weren't drafted initially, but then were taken from the rookie draft. There's some in there that'll probably get a shot going down the line. But the hope is now that, look, 1 season or 2 seasons after the SA20 is kicked off, things look like they were starting to go on the up and up in terms of discovering not new talent, but talent that previously didn't get a shout because South Africa just don't play domestic cricket at a high enough level to warrant selection into the national team, and I think that'll improve. Into the new season, I would hope that for dear life they realize exactly how deep the deficit is in terms of national selection
Mm.
because problems. We, as
No,
much
it's
as we want
ridiculous.
to bring through guys like Rickleton and Brietska and Ngaba and others, the problem is that it's so late that this is happening that that gap that wasn't filled for maybe the last 15 years is now coming to the fore. So they need to take this thing really seriously, and not just that. I see they've revamped the domestic T20 outside of the SA T20. There's been a lot more money pumped into it now, catch a million, and trying to incentivize young people coming to the games. I think
Right,
they
you need to
you
incentivize the players. Leave the fans catch a million. Give the players catch a million. Because the
no, at
field
this
in the series was ridiculous.
ridiculous. Yeah, but the point, what I'm trying to say with the whole thing about South African domestic cricket coming right, it's not going to happen anytime soon. This is the start, and we're probably only going to reap the benefits from it in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. I mean, the IPL took really long, and yeah. But back to exactly what you pointed out there in the middle of all of that, the catching. Jeez, Ross Day had the time of his life in that second T20. You basically gave a guy a free route into 100. Oh, no words.
And even like Paul Sterling, okay, he's a stalwart of cricket, and not just Irish cricket, but cricket in general. But the guy hadn't scored a 15, like 20 odd games. And here we go back into the record books as the team that he scores his 50 against. I mean, the fielding was terrible. Grassed catches, missed runouts.
There's a lot that went wrong. It's starting to. I know I've picked on Rob Walters a bit in the recent past, but it's starting to get to a point where it seems like within the setup, it's not just aimless about what direction we're heading in, but there isn't a sense of like almost professional pride. We related the South African cricket team to the Manchester United team, and I think it is about the best comparison you can make. They there's a very similar thing going on here where it's so shocking that you look everywhere for something to blame, and it's like, what do we actually blame? Everything, basically. Nothing seems to be going right.
And it's going to divide the fan base. To use
Yes,
the
hundred
United
percent.
analogy again, half the people say, oh, it's the structure, give the manager time. In this case, give Rob Walters time. The other people say, no, he's not good enough. So Rob Walters is not good enough.
And
It's
then
there's
people
so
are
many
picking on
problems.
individuals.
There's
Yeah,
so many problems that you can't pinpoint it, and that's just going to split a fan base. They're going to start turning on each other. We're going to be having all of these debates off air, on air, in the bar, at home, at work. I mean, there's no shortage of talking points when it comes to this team.
100%. If you pop into any form of social media, there's yasses, man. It's sad looking at where South African cricket is because no one, as we've just said there, no one is in agreement about what's wrong, and that leads to people picking faults of absolutely everything. So we have this massive fan base, and to be fair, South African cricket, in terms of the fan base, has grown a little bit in recent years. Now, there's some people that are more aware of what actually is going on behind the scenes, and others that are less so. But everyone seems to be at loggerheads. People are saying, nah, this Aiden Markram is useless. He lost us a World Cup final. Then on the other hand, people are going, Temba is useless. He shouldn't be the ODI captain. Everyone is useless. No one is good enough. How does it ever improve?
That's the question. That's $1 million question.
At this point, I don't even blame you for not having a direct answer to that because I don't, and I don't think anyone does. We
Yeah.
really,
Like, and the
you
thing
know,
is that
as
as fans, we'll always have hope. You know, that hope that it's gonna change, it's gonna get better. Before this T20 series, we said, nah, this is gonna be a walk in the park for South Africa. Now, before the ODIs, even though the T20s went badly, we're on a little bit of a low, but I think we're both in agreement that we still should have enough to win this ODI series 3-0. You know, you get what I'm saying? We still
Exactly.
have the hope that the team is good enough. They just need to gel together and just get it done.
So the thing is, though, I think you kind of alluded to this before in one of our previous episodes. We are kind of finding ourselves at a level that is outside of the top tier of world cricket in all spheres, tests,
No,
T20s,
for
ODIs,
sure.
right? And that reality is becoming a lot more clear the more cricket we play. Now, you see it in the series coming up. We've just confirmed that the Bangladesh Test series will also go ahead now. I think the squad's out, but I haven't had too good a look at it. I just know that the series is going to be going ahead. We play Pakistan and Sri Lanka. The biggest of our cricket coming up is against Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan after playing West Indies, Afghanistan, and Ireland. What is going on? That I think that tells you the story. The big three, as we call them, and for everything that we slate them for, if we can't get in the
They perform.
same, yeah, no, if we can't get in the same bed with them, how do we ever expect to f things up, so to say? Like it's never going to
And
happen.
I mean, Sri Lanka is not going to be a walk in the park. You saw what they did to
Not at
New Zealand.
all.
They've demolished New
They
Zealand.
demolished them. New Zealand cricket is very much in a similar place as us, and it's sad, man. It's like when you look around world cricket at the moment, it looks like everyone but India are rebuilding. Like realistically, Australia are a little bit better. England are also a little bit better, but still they have their problems. India are perfectly fine, and everyone else, literally everyone else, it's all over the place. World cricket is
But
broken.
that's but that's also the opportunity that we have, and I just feel that we're letting it slip. I
Yes.
mean,
No, I agree.
why do we have to also be part of the people that are rebuilding? Where we knew years ago that this is
Absolutely.
a real possibility and put mitigating strategies in place. It just looks like we're all over the
Look,
place.
it is the South African way though, Kov, let's be honest. We
It
we
is,
never
but
fix
I
it.
mean,
We're
see,
never proactive
it's
with everything.
still the
Unless you
it's
have Rasi Erasmus chilling there, nothing is proactive. And I don't just mean in sport, I mean in everything. But we're not going to get into a political debate here, but that is the nature of the beast. And yeah, I mean, I don't see much changing, but with the ODI series coming up, I'd like to see a few better performances. I'd like to see them actually take some personal pride and go, look, we need to do a lot better. Let's go and put these guys to the sword. Now, the team is pretty similar, or at least the squad that is. There's a few changes into it. Rassi van der Dissen coming in. Now, I know we said Matthew Brietska would be right up there to deserve a shot in the ODI series as well, but for some reason or the other, as I mentioned in the previous episode, he's not in the ODI squad, but was in the T20 squad. Likewise, there's a few other changes. Rickleton is there, Verena is there. Tony Deswazi comes back in. Aiden Markram is not in this side. I'm just gonna giggle about it because I don't know what is this all about. What are we trying to do here by playing two completely different squads?
I have a question. Of the squad, who do you think makes it into our first choice squad? Who is going to be in the Champions Trophy squad as of today? When you think of Janssen, Klaassen, those kind of guys, KG to come back, who of these players are part of the Champions Trophy plan as it stands? Because you can't be going into these few series that we have not knowing kind of who you want to take there. On current performance and maybe potential, who makes it in?
I think just looking at this 15, I got Tristan Stubbs definitely. I think that's locked in, right? He hasn't performed. He hasn't performed for a little bit now. After the Test series and him batting at three in white ball cricket, he's been a bit interesting as of late. And I
Hmm.
think, as we've said before, it looks like it's coming back to bite them already. It's been very quick, but it looks like that Test change up is actually not working out too well
It's
for
not
Stubbs.
good for
But
him,
I, s-
but we knew
I
this.
still do think we knew this exactly. I don't understand how the people that are in charge and in places where they can make important cricketing decisions don't seem to think along the same lines. But
Yeah,
whatever,
because
right?
we're not at the
Stubbs,
we're not in the place to put extra responsibility on any of these players.
they're finding a way. They none of them are set to be top international cricketers yet. They're all finding a way. But on the back of that, Stubbs will almost definitely be in that ODI
Oh,
side
for
in the
sure.
Champions Trophy, right? I would then go Rickleton. Now that is a lot of bias, and I think you'd probably agree on your end. Yeah. So for the first time, Rickleton is in this squad, but now I think he also needs to go back into the Test lineup because he needs as much cricket as you can get him to play. That is a
Exactly.
fair
At
fact.
this
If you're
level.
going to go into the Champions Trophy, play him as often as you can. I think he's finally taken a chance. He hasn't previously performed when he's been given any sort of shot, and he's finally taken a chance. And I think that they should be seeing, hey, wait, this guy is just an awesome cricketer. He's a great cricketer.
Mm.
He's a brilliant keeper, much better than Verena, way better. Like I would rate him at least 10 times better than Verena as a keeper. And as a
Mm.
batsman, we could go 30, 40, 50 times better. So Kyle Verena's
Mm.
in the squad. If I see him starting over Rickleton, I'm going to be pretty pissed off again, right?
No,
So
exactly.
I think Rickleton in there. Tony DeZorzi definitely has a shot if things go in the right manner or along the right trajectory. And then you probably have a toss up between a few here: Vian Mulder, Otniel Bartman, Nandre Berger, Lungi if he finds himself again. They could all be in there. The rest, I don't think they should be anywhere near it, including the kid Ngawa Pizza. I don't think it's his time yet. This is a good time to build him,
Exactly.
but not to be
Mm.
playing in the Champions Trophy because Kesh will be back in that side, and likewise Shamsi should be there as well.
No, I'm with you. I totally agree. And see, that's where the lack of forecast comes in. Like, what are you trying to do with this series? Because the other point that I want to try and make is going against Ireland now. Before the T20 series, if you asked me what did we want to get out of the series, I would have said, let's improve on what we struggled with in the 50 over World Cup. In the 50 over World Cup, we built this reputation as being a team that can only bat first. Put a score on the board, scoreboard pressure, and our bowlers can then defend the score. Because you could see that we struggled to chase in the World Cup specifically. Going into this series, I would say, oh, let's try and work on that. This is a perfect opposition to let's go and bowl first, try and keep them down, and then chase the score. Now, after the T20 World Cup, after the T20 series, can we afford to do that? I don't think so. I think we got to now just go and play to our strengths.
It's almost double trouble because we've just shown that we're not that great at chasing even in T20s. So it should be at the top of the agenda, but I completely get you. You kind of now have to
We need
prioritize winning
confidence
the
now.
series. Yeah, winning the series over perfecting the art, so to say. And yeah,
Exactly. That's
completely
why I
agree.
say before the series, I had a completely different mindset with what I wanted out of this ODI series. And now it's like, listen, we just need to win the series, get some confidence. Because the Irish are no slouches in ODIs as well. I mean,
No
we
chance,
struggled against
exactly.
Afghanistan, and I think they played Afghanistan in like March, and I think they put a score of like 275 on the board. We struggled to do that.
I think it goes deeper to the backroom staff as well. Now we're just talking about now changing the mindset of whether to get results over trying to perfect something that you struggle with. I think it probably is along the same lines for the coaching staff because at this point they're probably less worried about fine tuning than they are just getting results because the longer this goes on for, they're in
Mm,
jeopardy. The greater the risk becomes. They're going to be thinking, crap, we could still get sacked before the Champions Trophy. So first and
exactly.
foremost for them will probably be getting results. I don't think it's a healthy environment at all. And if anyone thinks that the plan is it might look like it's not working, but it is working. Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think about South African cricket. There are a few of you that will pop in as you slowly start finding out that three shots has moved to here. Let us know exactly what you think about this because I don't think it's all doom and gloom, but it's definitely very worrying. We've never watched South Africa be in such a crap state in cricket ever, or at least for as long as I've been watching cricket. It,
Mm,
ever since we were revealed to the world post apartheid, South Africa were never this crap. We're always up there at the top. You might have had bad games, but you don't have like bad seasons. This is almost a year of crap cricket, bar the T20 World Cup final.
You hit the nail on the head. It's never been this bad, and it's such a pity that it's at a point where we all want to get back the glory
Yes.
days, and we all eager to see South Africa do well, and to just see them not perform time after time is such a hard sore, especially after the high of the T20 World Cup final. We thought, okay, we've been struggling for a few years, but there's the kickstart that we need.
Build
And
on
since
this.
then, it's been total nightmare. Yeah. And the other thing is, I mean, Ireland are gonna go draw so much of confidence from drawing the
Yes,
series.
100%.
They've injected more experience into the squad, into the ODI squad. They kind of tinkered with their T20 lineup, but they've put Balburney back. Paul Sterling's got some form. So you don't know what you're going to expect from them. They've shown that if you give them any rope, they're going to hang you with it. So we need to get off to a good start. That first game, we just need to nip this in the bud and try to have a comfortable series. We don't need any more edge of our seat stuff. We don't need any more close matches. We don't need any more drop catches.
Give me your 11. Give me who you think is the best 11 to go with for this ODI series. We did this for the T20 series. They obviously didn't go with what we suggested because, yeah, the guys up there in CSA are real geniuses and, whatever. But we'll do it again. ODI best lineup. Openers then. You stick with Rickleton and then
Has
maybe
to be
Deswazi.
Rickleton. Two lefties. Hmm.
That's the only issue. That's the only issue I have as well there. But there's no one else that could potentially open. I mean, you're not going to make Rasi open, are you?
Maybe Temba. I don't know.
I mean, it could work with Rickleton Temba and then pop Dazorzi to three. Then you go Rasi four.
I think so. Because I'm a firm believer in white ball cricket. Your number three could easily be your opener. Because if you lose a wicket in the first
Yes,
over,
yes, yes,
it is
yes.
what it is. So I would top three Temba, Dazorzi, Rickleton. Either Dazorzi or Rickleton at three.
At
And
three.
then just see how that goes. But if I had it my way, I agree with you. Dazorzi at three. And the only reason I would say Dazorzi over Rickleton is that if Rickleton gets off to a start, then you know that he can take the game away from the opposition.
Yes, exactly.
Dazorzi sometimes can be a little bit more circumspect, but I think Rickleton and Temba they have the potential to have a good opening partnership.
Temba is a good foil for Rickleton as well, similar to how he can be with or could be with Quinton. He plays a very different game. He can anchor in innings. He can go a bit slow at times, but in recent times he's played a bit more aggressively in white ball cricket. I think yeah, Rickleton, Temba, Dazwazi, four.
So four is the problem
Hmm.
because if the T20 series went well, I would have said bench Rasi. But now I
Hmm.
think we need some experience.
Yes,
So I'd pop Rasi in there at four.
Rasi at four, and then Stubbs at five or
Stubbs at
Smith at
five.
five. So we basically, I don't think they're going to. It's highly unlikely they're going to bat Jason Smith at six, right? So what we're looking at here is a situation where we bat till five and then go all rounders at six and seven, most likely.
Do you think
Or
there's space? Do you think
there's
there's space for Varane and
we,
Rico?
yeah. So that we were both pausing on saying the same thing multiple times. There could be a chance where Carl Verena comes in and comes in at six. Then okay, that could open it up. But then I have another question for you. Let's just give some context first. When Kyle Verena first came onto the scene for the Cobras, he was extremely aggressive and looked like an amazing power hitter that could definitely be in the Protea side one day because of how aggressive he was. Over the recent past, has there been anything that you've seen from him that makes you think he can finish a game?
He kind of has some DK vibes about him, you know? Like it's in there and he'll pull like a 60 of 30 in one game and then you're just waiting for him to do it again. So
Remember what we said about
he
DK,
has
Noah?
it
We
in.
said he must go back to club cricket.
Yeah, well after these few series, then Varane must do the same. So because we don't want him near the squad again once Rickleton
I,
finds form.
I,
So
I really don't. But anyway, okay, so we can go Verena six, right? So we've got the top six. Peshluquayo, Vian Mulder,
Nah, I think he must be gone, man. Andile
Andile.
Preshnikwayo's time is up.
Yeah, he's up and down. He keeps performing on the domestic scene that makes them bring him back, but sometimes it's just not meant to be at international level, and that is pretty much my opinion of Andile being a Protea. I don't think that works out perfectly.
On that
Missed his
note,
opportunities fathers.
yeah, on that note, I think his spot should go to Patrick Kruger. Shout out to him. He did well in the T20 series.
Yes, he did again, but again,
So
this is the same thing it comes back to. He's not in the squad. No continuity here. But anyway, then do you go Mulder?
I think you have to.
So
He's the
Mulder
best
is
all-rounder
getting
in the squad. So
which is quite sad, to be honest. If anything, there might actually be a concerted effort to get him going because if you think about it, he's pretty much played every game we've played recently. He's played in the Test series, he's played in the T20s, in the ODIs. Basically, all the games, Vian Mulder's been there. So, okay, let's see. Vian Mulder at 7. 8, 9, 10, 11. Who do you go? Spinner maybe at 8.
I think give him a break. I think we need a little bit of experience. And as much as we said that Fortain's time should also be up, I mean, he's shown a bit. He can hold an end. He can keep the run rate down. So I'd actually play Fortain instead of Peter for the first match at least.
I agree with it purely based on that as well. He needs a break. He hasn't had the best of times, and he's only young. You can't destroy his confidence. If you do, he's never going to benefit from that. So cool. Go 14 at 8. Three paces then. Is that how we're going to play this? You go Otniel, Nandre, Lungi?
Yeah, I think so. I'm a big fan of Nandre. I don't know
Me
why
too.
he doesn't get the consistent run. He's
Me too.
he's the type of bowler that can potentially instill some fear in batsmen. He
He's
is the one player that can be the Alan Donald slash Dale Steyn type of player. He's young, yes, he's inconsistent, but give him a run. He's gas.
absolutely gas. Behind Nokia and maybe Gerald. Nandre is right up there. He's gonna hit 150 clicks and definitely give you action. I don't want to see Lazard Williams in the starting 11.
Yeah,
That oak, honestly,
I
it
think he's
baffles
gonna
me
play.
how he gets
I
so many
don't want him to
chances.
play, but I think he's gonna play.
Have you ever watched Lazard Williams play for South Africa and thought, whoa, this guy has a lot about him. He's a great cricketer. I want to see him play more cricket.
Not really.
Like, ever.
He's
Like,
done well in the Russell Polo shirt, but apart from that, nothing.
I don't know what the selectors see in him. There's better bowlers in the domestic scene than Lazard Williams,
Mm.
and
Bring
there's
like
better.
Daniel Dupavel on or something.
Yeah, you can
He
go.
can do a
You
job.
could go anywhere. You could literally go anywhere and find a better fast bowler, even younger than Lazard, to come in and bowl. One, he is not economical almost ever. Two, he gets you wickets when he feels like. So if you're not going
Mm.
to be in the team as a strike bowler or to hold up an end, what actually is your purpose? To
Mm.
lure the batsman into false sense of security so that they get out to someone else because they think,
Yeah.
yeah, these always can't bowl.
Mm.
So yeah, no Lazard for me.
You see,
And
historically, historically, South Africa's fast bowling attack have
mm,
always complemented each other, and now we don't have that. Like, what really is the difference between Othniel Bartman and Lazard Williams? They're both similar pace. They'll nail the odd Yorker here and there. If you want them to bowl line and length, maybe they can do it 7, 8 times out of 10. But then they can
I'll give
also
Otniel that, but
explode.
not Lazard. Lazard, I think you'll give him 3 out of 10 line length.
3 out of 10, but point being, like, they don't
Mm,
complement each other.
not at all.
Like, it doesn't make sense to bowl Lazard Williams, Othniel Bartman, Nandre Berger. That's why I think it'll either be Bartman or Lazard Williams, and then Lungi for his slow ball, death bowling. And
Yeah,
this is me grasping at straws, trying to make these players fit so that they have some sort of compatibility and they do complement each other a little bit.
so that is our 11. I think in terms of series predictions, we're going to do them again, but we're probably going to be wrong again because this team never fails to excite us. Cool. 3-0, 2-0, 2-1 rather.
It's so
You
sad that I
scared
have to
this
think
time.
about this.
You
Yeah,
scared this time, yeah.
nah, screw it. 3-0.
I'm gonna go 3-0 as well. Ever the optimist. I think the bad part about you and I doing these Protea chats alone is that we both we both like a little bit. It's almost like a disease. We're always optimistic, even in
Yeah,
the face
it's
of
like a
absolute nonsense.
it's like a sine wave, you know.
Yeah. And all the downs, all the lows come from South Africa. We're always on a high. At least Coombs and Divi usually are like, nah, boys, this is not happening. But yeah, we'll hope that we get closer to winning the series this time. I don't have much hope to. I know in the last one we said let's smash them and all of that. I don't really care about that here. I just want to see. It's honestly
I
gotten to
just
the
want to
point where I
win
just want
now.
to see players I like or want to see in the side going forward. I want to see them do well. So at the very least, we benefit from something in the
Mm.
series.
I think we just need to maintain our batting performances and just improve on
Mm,
our bowling. Yeah, so I don't want to see 14 bat more than once in the series.
that would be
You get
brilliant.
my point. Like,
Mm,
let's just do what we have been doing well. Let's keep doing it and improve on what we've been slacking. And that's the bowling front.
mm,
And if we do that and we feel better, we've got 50 overs. We can start off badly and pull it back. There's time. Captaincy comes more into play. We just need to be more aware of what's happening, execute the plans, and we should have more than enough. We know that
I
T20
agree.
is a very temperamental format, like somebody can just have a blinder. It's a little bit less so in ODI cricket. You have enough time to pull the
Yes.
game back if it's getting out of hand. Just on that, I feel we should have more than enough.
I don't want to see 14 bat either, but I do want to see that middle order score runs because for as long as I can remember in the recent past, we haven't exactly had a consistent run of middle order runs. And fair enough, the middle to middle lower order is missing Klaassen, Miller, primarily those two, and maybe Janssen at 7. But 4, 5, 6 need to be making runs. There's this run, this very thin run needs to end now. And Tristan Stubbs, this series, if there's one thing we could get out of this, would be to see him get back into white ball form. That'll be brilliant. I'll take that and run with it. So we're going 3-0. And yeah, if you are an Ireland fan that so happened to stumble by this and stick along for the entire ride, drop a comment to let us know what you thought about the T20 series and what you think will happen in the ODI series as well. I know cricket isn't the biggest sport in Ireland, but you guys have played well, and we definitely are up for another challenge from you. None of what we've said is disrespectful to or meant to be disrespectful to the Irish cricket team in any way. It's just purely based on the fact that South Africa were once a very good cricketing team, and now we've kind of fallen off a cliff, and our opinions are based on that and that solely. We just want to see the boys do a lot better, and by the nature of the difference in quality of the two cricketing nations, we should be playing a lot better. So if you did find anything that we did say a bit disrespectful, we apologize. We didn't mean it. Now, if you did enjoy this one, drop us a like, hit the subscribe button, catch us on all the audio platforms as they are always available. That's Spotify, Audible, Apple Music, and the works. And until the next one, don't forget to pour a shot and cheers.